Tom. That's Brett. Okay. Brett, your call. All over to you. Heads. It's heads. Yep. Thanks, boys.
Welcome back to Skilled Stadium for the Cats and the Swans, and it is a perfect day in Geelong today. We've got clear blue skies, just a slight breeze. The ground is in perfect condition. The sun is out. It's about 24 degrees. It could almost put you to sleep if there was an exciting game of football about to start. The crowd is very, very excited to see this game. The Cats, their home ground, of course, they've won 7 of their last 8 games here. The Swans haven't won here since 1999, so a fairly daunting stat. Don't know if they would have put too much thought into it today, though. It is a new year, it is a new game, and we'll get it underway as we welcome Michael Christian and Luke Darcy to the telecast.
Thanks, Christy. Yes, a sensational afternoon here at Skilled Stadium, and Ty Kennelly, big loss for them. Luke pulled out of the team after pulling up sore from training on Thursday with a hamstring complaint.
Yeah, it's a massive omission. We're looking at Kieran Jack on screen. As Robert Walls predicted, he's gone to Gary Ablett, and Adam Goods is starting across half forward, and again his matchup is going to be Cameron Ling.
So play about to get underway here at Skilled Stadium. The Premiers versus an undermanned Sydney Swans outfit. But they'll take it right up to the catch, you can be assured of that. From the centre, well done Jolly. He's been in good touch. Picked up by Kirk, immediately wrestled to the ground. So a secondary bounce.
Thanks, Kirky.
Brett Kirk, such an integral part of the Sydney midfield. A leader. As Jolly favoured by the bounce, knocks it forward. And again, there's a tie-up.
Scarlett's got Michael O'Loughlin. He'd normally be set for Barry Hall, but goes across to O'Loughlin today.
Big pack of players around the football. This time Blake gets it down. Luke Ablett tries to control it. Goods was he hurled. Looking forward to that matchup. Ling on Goods. Jude Bolton. Now Buchanan. Lost the handle. Ling over to Hunt. Brilliantly smothered though by Jude Bolton. Ball going in hard. Goods. Great stuff. Hunt goes back in for the Cats. And we'll get a bounce 40 metres from the Sydney goal.
Swans working it forward attritionally. Umpire Rosebery bouncing. Big squat by Blake. Geelong in control, and they'll come out of it with a free kick, which eventually they'll opt to take after toying with the possibility of running on. And it's the Brownlow medalist, Bartell, who takes it wide for Stokes, just getting away from him. Against Buchanan. Both go to ground. Smith.
Well, it's a throw, free kick, Geelong.
A little throw. His first action in the big time. He's pinged for. Maybe a seasoned player might have got away with it, although looking at that, you couldn't say the umpire was wrong.
Cats away here. Blake off a step, drives it. Inside attacking 50 at the back. Big Mark Hawkins. Well, got him with it quickly. Smothered by Kirk, but kicked forward again, and Chapman came from Corey. And Chapman will kick from 30 metres.
It was a great mark by Hawkins, a pack mark. He was unselfish. You can see him coming from behind there. And the leap's big enough to let him take it on the chest. He tries to get it to Ling, has the kick smothered. You could see Ling in the background. Didn't matter because Corey followed up and found Chapman. Such is the quality of this Geelong team.
So Paul Chapman, 5 goals for the year. Hasn't kicked the goal from a set shot so far. Just a couple of behinds until now. So there's a third behind from a set shot from Paul Chapman.
Matner to bring it back in for the Swans. Hostile crowd behind him, but not so much interested in the negatives as the positives of their own team, their heroes. Lovely kick, Matner to Kirk.
Mark's fine there, Mark.
Centrepiece for the Swans, threading it to McVeigh, who started this year well. It's confidently played on and gives to Smith, who does get a feel of it and a legitimate disposal. And Sydney are away. And it's Barry delaying. Back to Smith again. It shows some cool. And Ablett just uncertain about that. Didn't read the hang of the ball. And now Ablett of the blue and whites breaks away. Hunt out wide. Ling, Corey, Slow build-up from Geelong, forced upon them by the Swans. Heavy clash in mid-air. Matner did well for Sydney. Now it's Barry again. And O'Loughlin coming a long way from goal.
65 metres, in fact, from goal. But O'Keefe is loose and he's got it. Well played, Michael O'Loughlin. Very open forward 50. Scarlett being drawn up the ground by O'Loughlin, leaving plenty of space behind him. As we look at the clash there, James Kelly, great courage.
Yeah, it was good play, Michael O'Loughlin. He saw Ryan O'Keefe on Andrew Mackie. He had a one-on-one opportunity, kicked it straight away, and this man's good enough to get the job done.
Kicked 9 goals in the 3 games. Barry Hall was absent last year. From 45, just tugs it. They'll contest in the goal square. In fact, Goods a chance. Swans still alive here. Nick Davis. We know he can be lethal close to goal. Hands it off. Jude Bolton, left foot snap. Mark right on the line, though, by Milburn. And he will relieve the pressure for the Cats.
And your allusion to Nick Davis and a miraculous performance of the past, of course, was against Geelong in that famous semi-final in Sydney in the Swans premiership year. Craig Bolton to Jolly and McVeigh, and the Swans build again. And they have a good target here. Jack pokes it wide, and now Davis from out in a tricky spot, but if anyone can kick them from tricky spots, he can.
Great work from Sydney. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to force you to kick the footy and turn it over. They get it back off you, and then their use of the footy by foot is always good.
Particularly into their forward 50, Luke, they are able to hit targets inside that forward 50. They average around 18 marks a game inside the 50.
Well, it fades right away. Nick Davis would rarely have missed a shot as expansively as that.
Rarely do you see him miss like that, and his father Craig, who was a great goal kicker for Carlton and North Melbourne and Sydney and Collingwood, he'd be a bit disappointed with that. Davis kicked 8 last week.
Andrew Mackie, great to see him back. Now free kick coming to Cameron Ling, and in the home and away season last year, when these two were pitted against each other,
Lee Matthews will have watched that with interest.
Yes.
I would think that Goods would hate to play on Ling. Who wouldn't?
Well, he smashed him last time they played, Rob. 31 disposals, Goods, just 11 to Ling. Now Harley, kick towards half forward. Reading it best was Craig Bolton. Couldn't hold onto the mark and tracks it to the line and disguised it well enough. Boundary throw-in.
Gee, Craig Bolton on Steve Johnson. There's a bit of class there. And little Kieran Jack just going step by step with Gary Ablett. He'll put the brakes on him. Here they go.
And Ablett it is, nowhere to go, and he knows it. Corey. Mean Swans defence working hard. Bolton with Johnson, as mentioned a moment ago, and there's a famous face in the crowd watching his son, Gary Ablett Jr. Kelly working it out to Johnson, who gets a kick against the miserly Bolton. Mooney, clever, Bartel, trying to get it back to Mooney, couldn't. Umpire lenient because he hadn't had prior opportunity. Matner ran into a tackle, cocked it high. Free kick to the Swans. The arm wrestlers on. They're testing each other out, and they mean business.
He's been good for Sydney, Marty Matner. Came in and made a real difference to this side.
Well done by Richards. Got Kelly out of the way just for the moment, though. He came back and applied pressure. Jack. Now Jolly. Ooh, taken high by Ablett. No free kick. McVeigh. Luke Ablett now. Stripped of the footy by Chapman. Bolton couldn't control the half volley. Now Blake feeds it back to Mackie. Kelly. And he combines with Corey. Little slip there, little fumble. Kurt, desperate. Kelly has had a wonderful start to the season. Perhaps a touch lucky, but he does get the free kick on centre wing. Now Bartel is all by himself at centre half forward. He can waltz in, have a go from 50 and deliver.
So the first blood to the Cats, the home team. They lead by 7 points. Bartel kicking it. First game as Smith is on him for the moment, and Bartel was able to give him the slip then. Bolton, Jude for Sydney. Hunt spilling the mark. Groan from the crowd. Ling there in support. Swans though with numbers. Moore was clever. O'Keefe was brave. McVeigh was good, and Goods can finish, and he misses. That is a bad miss. That was eminently kickable. should have been nailed by the dual Brownlow medalist.
It's going to be a great contest between these two, Ling and Goods. You'd love to see Goods score 3 or 4 goals today. That would help Sydney enormously.
Bartel got it from Mackie. Off to Enright. Now Scarlett charging from centre half back. Stopped in his tracks though by Kirk. Well done, handed off West. Here's Gary Ablett. Runs to 55. Kicks towards Mooney. Well done, Richards. Johnson. Brilliant. Steve Johnson coming from the ground. Freakish goal.
He's an absolute genius, Steve Johnson. He's got that bit of Peter Dacos mercurial magic about him. Able to sum that up, volley it out of mid-air, and he's the sort of guy that you expect him to do these sort of things. Have a look at that. It was just so clever, and it's the sort of thing that he does regularly. He's a genius.
Used the left to perfection. Had not more than a fraction of a second to size that all up. Geelong have kicked 2. Sydney have missed a couple of kickable shots. They'll be ruining those already. Roberts-Thompson goes into the ruck against West. The number 2s are in there. But Sydney are away, and they've got another chance to build up to something here. Jack finding O'Keefe, who goes for Davis, but Harley is there with an emphatic spoil.
Well, they will know, Geelong, that Sydney try to short pass into their forward 50 so very well. Geelong defenders, they'll be on the job. You can see Harley, he's awake to it, gets the fist on it, puts it out of play.
Again, West and Roberts-Thompson. Kirk wrapped up. Ball up. Scoring position for Sydney. And they need to do some scoring. Took them a long time to get going here last year when they met, but when they did, there's a bit of skirmishing going on before the umpire bounces the ball. Poor bounce from umpire Ellis. Jude Bolton to O'Keefe, who had to think about it and then delivered into a pack of players. It might work. Bird, Jack under pressure, went nowhere. Not a mark. Harley and Scarlett. Scarlett relieves to Bartel. Cats so cool, so accomplished.
And Melbourne now streaming from defence, straight up the corridor. The mark's taken by Hawkins.
Strong mark by Hawkins. That ball was coming bullet-like.
Chips towards half-forward. Mooney on a lead. Mark strongly in front of his eyes. Off to Ling. This is better. Kick, beautiful kick towards Chapman. Couldn't hold on. Loose player in the goal square. Stokes will kick Geelong's third.
Attacking corridor football from Geelong, each with such confidence in the other. And the Swans, the best defensive team in the league, powerless to stop them then. Roberts-Thompson wins in ruck, but Wyszynski attacks the ball, slips under a tackle, did it well.
Played a throw, I think, Tim, against Wyszynski.
Did most of it well. Bevan takes it for the Swans, desperate for a goal. Barlow on the lead, but too far out.
Me.
Now O'Keefe, and their forward structure really having to revolve around him today without Hall as its focal point.
We've seen a couple of shots from this angle, and they've all gone left to right. There doesn't seem to be much breeze down there, but we'll just follow this kick and see if the pattern continues.
Tremendous atmosphere here. Crowd quiet as O'Keefe starts it left, and it doesn't come. Oh, it came late. Not quite enough. I think a golfer would be pretty happy with that putt, although the result would cause a silent curse.
It was well called, Ballsy. He hit that perfectly, I reckon. It's a really hard spot on the ground to score goals down here, and he allowed that. He'd learnt from the last 2 guys, and in the end, it just snuck the post.
So Melbourne at fullback. Swans aren't playing that badly. Cats already out by 17. Gary Ablett. Bartel now called to play on, but kept his head off to Scarlett. Links a couple of options. Stokes back to Scarlett. Oh, that's dangerous. Brilliantly picked up though by Wyszynski. Now Stokes again. They've worked it towards the wing. The kick is good. Marked by Hawkins.
Geez, he started well, Tom Hawkins, on Leo Barrick.
They're prepared to play him well out from goal too. Let Mooney drop back.
Now Selwood. Now called to play on. So back to Hawkins. He can have another go, and Stokes has drifted down towards half forward. Now, did he play on out of bounds?
Had to have done.
I'm sure he did. He kicks to the goal square. Mooney at the back. Chance for Brennan. Late inclusion for Kennelly. Mooney. Dubious looking handball. Buchanan waits and then eventually goes after it. Put his teammate Matner under pressure. But Brennan now. And off to Bolton. Craig Bolton. Kirk. And the Swans work it out of defence.
And they do it nicely. And it's their turn to take control of the corridor. Bird causes Roberts-Thompson to wait. And then taken wide. O'Keefe is having to run himself into the ground here. Mown down by Milburn. What a good match that is. Milburn's such a stalwart for Geelong. Now here is Stokes a moment ago. Now he played on over the mark from out of bounds. That is a shocking error really by the boundary umpire, one has to say. And I normally leave boundary umpire sledging to one of my colleagues. Here's Gary Ablett who goes for Ling. And the Cats in charge. Enright to Hawkins. Running beautifully. Raczynski takes it wide for Johnson. Has Matner for company now. Popping it over the top. Three of them running onto it. Raczynski into the open goal, and there's their fourth.
You can see there the disposals. They're struggling to put the brakes on the Cats. 70 to this stage to 47s. Hawkins, as Luke mentioned, 4 marks. They've just taken him off for a breather, and the Geelong fans have gone crazy.
So back in the centre, West beats Robert Thompson. Now a chance for Ablett. Well done by Luke, his cousin, to stand in his way, and he earns the free kick.
Problem for Sydney, I don't think they've actually started that badly.
Oh, look out, Smith run down, but he just got the kick away. Chance for Goods, or in a nest. Well done, Enright. Ball spills clear. Ling, Selwood, Johnson waiting for something to happen. Off to Selwood again. Here they go. Inside attacking 50 at the back. Rook. Hands in the back. And a free kick to Sydney. Sorry, Luke.
Just saying that they're actually in the contest and they're applying themselves well, but on the scoreboard they're getting belted at the moment.
Disturbingly so. Good delivery for Buchanan, who comes back inside. Bevan, oh, well met, but recovers well. And Sydney get out of it. Matner floating it over the top. Smith, who's had a mixed opening quarter, but he's had a bit of the footy. Davis and Harley. Davis, little nudge with the boot. Harley, tough man to get rid of. O'Loughlin, Scarlett, a tough man to get around. Clever kick, and Jude Bolton should surely kick Sydney's first.
You won't see a better kick for the day than what you saw from O'Loughlin. Pressed against the boundary line, dodged and weaved, summed up the situation. Have a look at this, gets past Scarlett, not an easy thing to do, and pops it over the head of a Geelong player, hits his teammate, and Michael O'Loughlin, you are a star.
Swans have taken 6 marks inside 50 and now have their first goal, but still trail by 17 points.
At Skilled Stadium, margin back to 17 points. Blake back in the ruck against Jolly. Well done, Jolly. Forces it forward. Jude Bolton, the goal kicker. Buchanan at ground level, does well. Now Bird drives it long and wide. Moore leading in the race, but got a bad bounce. Corey is wrapped up and the boundary line is too close. Well done, Corey, forcing it over. So a boundary throw in half forward for the Swans.
And Geelong with their 2 ruckmen on the ground, Tim. They've got West at centre half forward and Blake doing the ruck work here.
Jolly and Blake. Corey, Ling not expecting that. Able to recover it. Hunt for Geelong. For Bartel with Bevan against him. Rook for the Cats. Bevan against him too. Well played, Paul Bevan. Took on a couple of them. Might not win the war, but then again, he might break even. He does. There'll be a ball up. So Sydney plugging away, but Geelong so potent up forward have been quite devastating when they've moved it quickly and taken it into the 50. Blake snaring it out of the air against shorter opposition. Griswold getting it off to Bartel, and now Raczynski again. Wanted to play on, lost his footing. Chapman will be corralled here by Luke Ablett, but he has the space. Mooney, Richards with him. Richards very good last week against Hanson in Sydney. High tackle surely on Matner. No, he's gone for holding it.
Yeah, fair enough, I reckon. He ducked his head into the oncoming player.
mate. Here. Cal.
And had plenty of opportunity.
Chapman loads up for the big one. Mooney in the midst of it, didn't fly. Johnson waiting down, got it again, goal again.
Steve Johnson kicks his second, very elusive. And Craig Bolton just not being goal side there, paying the price. So Jolly to do battle with Blake back in the centre. Poor bounce again, favours Jolly. Luke Ablett couldn't get boot to ball. Good tackle from Kelly. Corey working hard, more controlled by Wojcinski. Paddled to his own advantage, then puts the afterburners on. Kicks deep to the goal square. Has it got the carry? It has, but it's offline.
The change of speed David Wojcinski's got is as impressive as anyone in the competition. Jared McVeigh's not slow, and he could not get near him there.
Swans, with their methods, seem to be at their most vulnerable early. St Kilda kicked goals against them and effectively won the round one match in the first quarter. It could be the same here. Blake got, well, did he get boot to ball?
Got a thin edge, Tim. The umpire didn't hear it.
Buchanan takes the free and gives to Jolly. Sydney really needing to pull back one or two before quarter time, but it's not going to be easy. Buchanan sneaks off behind Jolly, and Kirk comes back for the Swans. Jolly's in some bother, but he has Craig Bolton riding shotgun. And Bevan now, beleaguered Sydney defence in this early part, without Kennelly to provide them with an attacking weapon back there. Richards delays the kick, and when he does let go, he doesn't place it. And Hunt stands in the way. And suddenly it's going back the other way at a greater rate.
Is it a 50-metre penalty? I think Hunt was held onto by the shorts when he took the mark.
Wallsy, Adam Goods has just had the one possession. We've played 22 minutes in the first quarter. Is he better off trying to take Cameron Ling forward and get quality possessions, or where else can we see him play?
Yeah, or even give him a turn in the ruck. If he's in the ruck, well, obviously Ling can't tag him there. There's Bartel with his 9th disposal.
A torpedo to the goal square at the back. Mark taken by Chapman. Push. Sydney free kick. And against Hawkins.
Why isn't it a 50-metre penalty against Chapman? Because he played Russian roulette, Chapman. He didn't know whether it was a Sydney free or
Whistle
a Geelong
went about
free.
there.
Well, there was 2 free kicks there. One to Smith and one to Richards. So Richards with it in the defensive goal square. Wide. Well, Selwood taken down by Kirk. No free kick. Jolly. You called the play on. Everyone stopped. So Jolly back to Smith. Left foot. Kicks it very close, but over.
That's karma.
Under no pressure.
That's karma, because everyone knew it was Selwood's free kick except the umpire.
Stokes with Chapman loose. Absolutely finding his way into a barn door-like hole there. Now, will he load up here and have a go at it from outside 50? Cats really rolling in the first quarter. It took them a while to shake St Kilda last week, but no such worries here. He's hooked that going for distance. Oh, massive leap by Darren Jolly. He's never done anything like that in his life.
That's the highest he's ever been, Tim. That was higher than Joe Cocker.
They will need oxygen for him, so unused is he to the rarefied atmosphere. Nick Davis needed to get rid of it. Roberts Thompson. Sydney not playing with their customary composure now. Kirk to McVeigh. And crossing the centre's only half the battle. Finding their way through the Geelong defence as the other half. Harley off to Mackie. Kick a little tentative. Stokes gives it back. Says have another go. Get your feet warm. Now Harley. And he has Kelly loose.
Halfback James Kelly, plenty of time, delivers. Ablett, rising star nominee from last week. Kieran Jack, the man for Gary Ablett this afternoon. He chips it short. Chapman, who polled 3 Brownlow votes when these sides met in round 13. Paul Chapman.
Just saw a shot of Bartel. He's playing permanent forward line, had 9 disposals. Ling's off the ground. You saw Ling off the ground. The reason he's off is because Adam Goods is off. Goods has had 1 touch. Ling 9.
Selwood out to Hunt and slipping over Bartel. Comfortable mark taken by Bevan at centre-half back for the Swans. There's Adam Goods.
Can't understand why he doesn't play in the ruck, Wolves. It's a very good point. Mark Blake would be under enormous pressure having to run with the running capacity Goods has got, and it throws something different to the Geelong coaches box. Maybe they can get an extra runner in the midfield, Sydney. Got to be worth an option.
Craig Bolton, as the Swans switch the play. Barry now at left half back. And a searching kick, and it's well placed. Mark taken by Richards. This is where it gets difficult for the Swans. Cats getting numbers back and really crowding their forward half. So Richards forced to go back to Matner. 4-goal lead. Matner kicks to the corridor, and well done, well executed. Mark taken by Bird. He kicks wide. McVeigh is loose at half forward. Now this is a promising build-up for the Swans. Hard up against the line, 60 from goal. Can he find a target inside attacking 50? No. Chance for Enright, well tackled by O'Loughlin. He did get the handball out. Ablett under pressure, almost threw it out, pushed in the back. Was it? No. So a bounce 20 metres from Sydney's goal.
It used to be said, Chris O, that an offence like that might have been played at the other end of the ground. That's leaping Leo Jolly pulling down a screamer for the Swans just a moment ago. Geelong just putting it together beautifully. Kelly, Chapman, Ablett, away they go. Just able to see off the attempted tackle and deliver like a tracer bullet to Johnson. There might be another goal in them yet as he gives Ted Richards a fearful time back there and drops it onto Mooney's chest. Johnson keeps coming, and he's going to have a 3-goal opening quarter. The Cats have blitzed the Swans.
Well, another goal that originated from the full back line and then run through the half back line with a series of handballs. But the important thing, they take it through the corridor. They don't go wide, and it puts enormous pressure on the opposition defence when it comes in that quickly and down through the middle.
Kirk, kick smothered, chance for Kelly. Slipped over, spills to Stokes. Well done by Jude Bolton, putting a contest. Wojcinski had a brief spell as the siren sounds for quarter time. A very impressive Geelong outfit in that opening quarter. A 5-goal lead.
Yeah, they were fantastic, Geelong. They had 113 disposals, which is 30 more than the Swans have conceded in any other quarter this year. They are playing their game on their terms. That man, Cameron Ling, what a sensational player he is. He smashed Adam Goods in the first quarter. A lot of work to do for the Swans.
Brilliant first quarter by the reigning champions. At the first change, it's the Cats by 30 points. Next Friday, an opening quarter against Sydney as stunning and convincing as anything in the last 25 games they've played, of which they've only lost 1. They have blitzed the Swans with 6 goals to 1. Their 30-point lead will be very difficult to reel in across the rest of the day. It started down in the back half. Robert Walls, they move the ball with such confidence in each other.
Well, they do, Tim. Scarlett gets it across, and it's a series of handballs. Milburn, we see Hawkins playing well up. He took 4 marks in the first 15 minutes of the game. They really do work to bring it into that corridor all the time, and that is just so hard to defend against. And again, it goes out to Wojcinski there, but they bring it back in towards the goals, and it's not hard to believe that they kick 6 goals a quarter when they play like that.
Swans' highest moment came in the last line of defence, defending grimly again. Darren Jolly, never been up there before, but he knew what to do when he got there, Chris.
Yeah, it was a great mark, wasn't it? Adam Goods in the background. Disappointing opening quarter, just the 1 disposal. Cameron Ling's got the job on the champ.
I agree with Luke. Luke thinks that Goods could well be given a chance to do some ruck work. He did that a few years ago. He's mobile, and if he rucks, it means that he's against Blake in a round-the-ground play. Instead of having Ling, he throws the Ling tag by doing that. But as it is, they're just accepting the Ling tag, and at the moment, it's all Geelong.
So the second term coming up. Swans rarely treated like this. 6 goals kicked against them in the opening term. Ling, rare mistake, fumbling, letting in Jude Bolton. Ablett besieged, tremendous pressure from the Cats. Theirs is a game of brilliant attack, but they also play very effective defensive football when required.
So a bounce at centre half forward for the Swans. Started okay, just couldn't quite convert their opportunities in the early part of the first quarter. Now find themselves down by 5. Chapman, Kelly feeds it back to Ling on his non-dominant side, kicks very effectively. Mark taken by Enright. Corey Enright.
Gary Ablett in pictures in the goal square. He is right back in the goal square. If they can get a high ball to Ablett, he will outmark Jack.
Prismal towards half forward. What a Matnu, worked his way to the front. Luke Ablett with the spill. Goods, oh geez, not having a great day so far. Slipped over, and the Swans are touch lucky. Craig Bolton getting a high tackle, and he'll take the free kick at half back for Sydney.
Had Steve Johnson early, was taken off him. I think after Johnson's first, Matner then given the job. Johnson kicked 2 more. Sydney with nowhere to go. Leaping Leo takes them on. And that's what they need. Bit of aggression out of defence. Well done, Barry. Most of the way. And it's worked for them. Jude Bolton to O'Loughlin, and Jolly lurking down the edge of the corridor, and he could have a shot from there.
It's great leadership, wasn't it, from Leo Barry? You could tell there was nothing doing, so he just took them on, ran about 50 metres, nearly got himself in trouble, but that's where you'd love Ty Kennelly to be playing, and he was a late withdrawal from the side. That's what he gives the Swans.
Isn't it amazing the opportunities and the gaps open up when you play on and take the game on?
When you take risks, Chriso.
Correct, Robert.
Things happen. Let boldness be my friend.
And Jolly, having taken the mark of the day, kick a big bomb. Not bad off the boot. Very good. The Swans have their second.
Aaron Jolly kicking Sydney's second goal. Margin back to 24. Back in the centre, doing battle against Mark Blake. Blake up early. He got it down. But again, a big pack converged and another bounce. Jude Bolton at the base of it. Wrestling Jolly and Blake. Blake this time. Kirk, was he pushed out illegally? No. Play on's the call. Blake will somehow got a kick forward. Well done, Good's got a hand in there. Oh, almost threw it out the back. Got away with it. Kirk.
Species.
Off to Matner. Now McVeigh. Can he find a target inside attacking 50? Davis.
Good bit of body work by Nick Davis. Just a little bit of a touch and deflection to get Harley out of the way. And it'll be interesting to see if this is a scoop or a fist. It is a scoop, and it should have been penalised.
And good body work, as you say, Rob. He had just edged Harley underneath the ball with his arm, not the hand, and this an opportunity. Missed what was a relatively easy opportunity in the first quarter by his standards. 45 metres directly in front. Couple of steps, and he kicks the Swans' third goal. 2 in a row.
From the boundary line, already Adam Goods has been taken from the field. As he comes off, so too does Ling.
As ever at quarter time, with his team looking down the barrel, Roos quite unflustered. Swans have kicked the first 2 goals of the second term, and they get a free kick and they can advance again. And the game is undergoing a transition. Jude Bolton has Kirk wide. They kick another one in a hurry. We have something here. Kirk dropping it in short. Oh, Davis had it in both hands, couldn't hang on. Stokes bangs it long. Geelong forced just to blaze for once. Steve Johnson, he's blazing a trail. Richards applying pressure. Matner, Johnson's opponent. Johnson back for more. Can't get rid of them all, surely. Did pretty well. Kelly, Prismal. But that fades away across the face, and in the end sits up obligingly for Eamon Buchanan.
Buchanan assesses. Matner, look out. Good tackle, Stokes, but he'll snap offline. Good pressure again in the forward 50 by the Cats. Margin out to 19.
Steve Johnson's kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. I was mentioning a little earlier just how hard he works, Woolsey. I know that players that play on him rate him as the hardest working small forward in the game.
This is interesting. Jolly's come off for Sydney and Goods has come on. Goods now has Blake as his opponent, is running off him through the middle of the ground. This could well end up with Goods, who's got the break on Blake.
Bolton got it from Bird and in the direction of Adam Goods. Oh, Hunt up, couldn't take it. Enright read it brilliantly off the hands. Back to Hunt. Goods in for shoot, and he slips and takes it over. And a throw-in will result at half forward for the Swans.
So Goods will contest this ruck contest. We see Josh Hunt fly there. He's actually very adept at the ruck work as well, Wolves. And here he is at ground level. It's a great move.
Yes, Goods rucking, roving and missing. What a pity. A goal there, and that would have just been the catalyst for Sydney. The margin back to 18.
Having played against him in the ruck, this is your biggest worry, is that he plays like a midfielder. He's an elite runner, and you might be able to win the hit out, but he's better than anyone at ground level for that size.
Hunt, Prismal. Off to Corey. And now Matthew Scarlett. Off a step at half back. Hawkins in front. Too strong, too much height and strength.
He's going to be a star, this kid.
Across the ground, Bartel. And look at the run through the middle. Wojcinski tucks it under the arm and he's away with a bounce. And the second. Kick a goal, David. Long towards full forward, offline on the full. Wasn't that exciting
I
stuff?
don't think there's anyone quicker in the game than Wojcinski at full speed. Can't think of someone who goes faster. Look at that change of pace. It's just brilliant.
It's got to be a contender for the out on the full of the year. Mattner takes it and turns it straight over and gives Wojcinski another chance. Too far out. Not 15. Steve Johnson in the impossible position, and even he couldn't make anything of that. And it's Nick Smith, first gamer for Sydney. Young Melburnian gone north for his opportunity. Mattner is a left footer and eventually got rid of them. Took a bit of doing. Luke Ablett playing down in the back half predominantly for O'Loughlin. Hunt making the spoil. Ablett, Scarlett there to help out, and Ablett. But Sydney prevail. Jack. Now Harley and Davis. Good streaming pass. Can O'Loughlin get it to him? He tries. Goods needs to keep his feet. Does all right to Barlow. Big swinging ball. He's done it. Great team goal by Sydney.
Margin now just 12 points.
3 goals straight to Sydney. Roberts Thompson doing the ruck work. Adam Goods has gone to the half forward line. Ling now on him.
Dominating out of the centre. Chance this time though for the catch. Bartel wrapped up. He had a chance, I thought, to get it out there. Didn't. And too aggressive. Corey on Buchanan. He's away. Off to Smith. A tentative bounce, but he kicks inside attacking 50. Harley in front. Was pushed out by Davis. And we'll get the free kick. So, captain of the Cats uses Stokes, who spending some time in the midfield this year. Matthew Stokes, his kick is wide, and Smith tracks it. In fact, Ablett tracks it to the line for the Swans.
Would that infringement of Davis's be the thing that annoys his coach, that he's just trying to take an easy way by getting rid of the man in front, hoping he gets away with it?
Wouldn't endear him, that's for sure. We just saw Goods get the hit out. This is the 5th clearance of the quarter to Sydney.
Smith towards Davis, just pitched in front of him and allowing Enright in. And the Cats have got the numbers here. Enright off to Scarlett, who is composed as ever and finds Wojcinski in the back pocket. On quickly, Ling. Well done, picked it up off the half volley. Back to Wojcinski, he's away again. Isn't it great to see him in full flight? The kick towards half forward. Well done by Brennan. Thought he might have got a free kick. No. Geelong, where will it go? It'll come back. And Paul Chapman, I think, will take it on centre wing for Geelong.
Oh, the crowd feeling they know the advantage rule much better than umpire McBurney. And I think they might be right. Max Rook. Hirsute Cat goes for Hawkins. Nothing Richards could do. Chapman, steering ball for Kelly.
Strong hands by Tom Hawkins again. Tim has just set that play up. He's great one-grab player, Tom Hawkins.
Speaking to Father Jack at halftime, Tim. Looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed. He's coming up to join us, and that will be fun. He'll tell us about his battles with Robert Walls across the half-back line for Geelong in the old days. Cats needing a goal right now to steady the ship. Scarlett's worked his way forward. Don't know whether he's getting a result there. Roberts Thompson took that well. Learned footy late. Took the mark like an experienced player. Bottom out, protecting himself. Here's Hunt as the Cats' defence comes forward, and the Swans are back in numbers. Mackie. Geelong trying to find their way in against a flooded defence. Selwood, who hasn't had a lot of it. Ablett being shunted by Smith. Big ask for the first gamer against the champion Cat. Roberts-Thompson up in front. Knocks it through. A minor.
Just some of Geelong's kicking skills that are normally so brilliant. A little bit of pressure from Sydney, starting to miss the target from time to time, and it's what's got Sydney back into this game.
Leo Barry doing his best work there. Lucky not to be penalised. Long kick at the back, Kirk. Well done, Roberts-Thompson. Back again. Bartel. Chapman, 55 from goal. Decides just to unload. They'll contest Woolley in the goal square. Well done by Jack. Chance here for Stokes. He doesn't miss these, Matthew Stokes. He pops it through.
Gary Ablett in picture. He's had 9 disposals. Jack was his opponent, and he's still his opponent. You can see Jack to the left of screen there, but as soon as the ball's bounced, he'll be heading towards young Gary.
Centre square infringement. Sydney free kick. Jolly to take it. McVeigh on the move for him. And on the lead is O'Keefe, and he bustles Corey Enright. And he can have a shot. And certainly the Swans would, statistically at least, clearly seem to be going to the scoring end. The flags giving more of a flutter now than they were when the ball was bounced and through most of the opening quarter. For a quick reply, Ryan O'Keefe. Not quite holding its line.
2 posters.
The centre breaks, Walls are 8-1 this quarter in favour of Sydney. They got belted last week in the centre square, Geelong. They lost it by 16.
Gee.
Maybe missing Brad Ottens.
8-1, yeah, that's a domination by Sydney, and Mark Thompson, no doubt he'll be onto his players at half-time about that. There's the best kicker in the competition, Hunt.
Yeah, and he finds Harley, Rob.
With a 70-metre pass,
Yes, delightful, wasn't it? Harley right on the boundary line, marked it at half-back for Geelong. Chips further afield.
Hold it there.
Mark taken by Selwood.
Thanks, Eamon.
So
You got it there, Joel.
just lack of run just for the moment for Geelong. Normally there's 2 or 3 players streaming from behind. Hawkins
Free kick.
pushed out.
Just over the left shoulder. Leo.
He's been sensational this afternoon, Tom Hawkins. From the wing towards half-forward. Bartel up. One of a number. McVeigh front and centre off to Craig Bolton. Back to Matner. Back to Bolton. Good play by the Swans. Now the sweeping handball into the path of Buchanan. Didn't quite hit the mark, so Buchanan has to stop and wait. But gets the call from Big Eddie Barlow, who runs into 40 and kicks another for the Swans. He's second.
Ed Barlow playing just his 8th game, and he's becoming a significant player for the Swans. Not just today, but as a part of this tight ship. Difference 12 points. Almost half of the second quarter remaining. Cats can't get rid of Sydney. Oh, now how's that going to be adjudged? High tackle.
Let him up. Let him up.
Which probably
Steady up. Steady up. Steady up.
clashes with the decision given in the first quarter against Matner, who put his head into a tackle and was punished.
Keep it on.
Perhaps Wojcinski did the same sort of thing there. Clears for the Cats and Mooney the only man standing. But there's a reason for it. Sydney free kick. Richards.
Play on.
Another Melburnian in Sydney's lineup, and he's playing well at the moment. He finds Brennan with a good ball. Luke Ablett, third in line, has taken a ripping mark for the Swans.
It's a good kick from Ted Richards. He summed it up really well. He had Luke Brennan across the ground and switched the play. There's the free kick against Steve Johnson. Had to be paid, but it just opened up the angle. And Luke Ablett, don't see him do that too often, but that's a strong pair of hands.
And acute judgment. Now, has he got a true right boot to have Sydney within one kick? No. Started it on the wrong line, and it only got worse. The difference, 11 points, but this has become a game. This has been an amazing turn of events in the second term.
Oh, gee, the kick just got to Ling from Milburn. And interesting that Geelong have won all 4 second quarters this year by a total of 80 points. So it's been their best quarter. Not today. Selwood, well done by Jack, wrestling him over, and a boundary throw in on centre wing.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that Sydney, they don't change their game plan ever. They just stick to what they know, don't make a change up. It can be their Achilles heel, but it's also the thing that's probably got them back into the game this quarter.
Well, a lot of faith in what they do. I think the big thing in this quarter is that they've just won the clearances and they've put the ball into their forward 50. We've seen some nice marks down there. And Geelong's half forward line, particularly Cam Mooney, has just gone cold.
Just 5 inside 50s for the Cats so far in the quarter. Goods, third man up, knocked on by McVeigh. Ablett first to gather, though. Johnson just took his eyes off it for just a moment. Support coming from Enright, who almost dragged it back under. The umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. A bounce 55 metres from Sydney's goal.
Let's have a look at Steve Johnson here.
Look at Brett Kirk coming here, Wolves. It's just such good play. So good in the contest.
Prismal, well tackled by Goods. Steve Johnson working back. Wasn't a great handball. I don't think Ling was ready for it. McVeigh somehow got it forward. Enright first there. Good tackle coming from Matner.
See the tackling by Sydney. The pressure by Sydney has gone up. This is a great test of Geelong. Look at that for a tackle.
So Jolly beats West. Oh, Adam Goods can run. Jolly will kick one here. Brilliant tackle. Superb tackle coming from Darren Milburn. Prevented it. And Adam Goods misses his third opportunity for the day.
He's 3 behind. His ambition exceeding even his ability there. Cats have a reprieve and they might make something of it now as Rook is able to break into the clear. The 50 is open and Hawkins is on the lead. His 7th mark, and running into a hole is Selwood, who will go all the way. Oh, well, that was casual. And it was a misjudgment by Selwood. He put himself under pressure and in the end wasted the opportunity. So escapes for both teams at either end.
It's so devastating on the counter-attack, Geelong. Not quite that time. Davis, Barry. And he's away, Leo Ord. Just got it back after the first bounce. 50-metre kick. Wide kick. Gee, yeah, Mackie coming in.
Just didn't look at the footy at all there, Mackie. Ran straight into O'Keefe and had to pay the free kick.
You'd think O'Keefe would have his radar right. He's had 2 posters in this game. Distance would perhaps be a problem.
So O'Keefe from just outside takes them on. Handball off to Jolly. Back to O'Keefe from 20 metres. Kicks. A goal for Sydney. Creative play from Ryan O'Keefe just on the edge of his kicking range.
Well,
at 55. Did it brilliantly, Rob.
Well, we said distance was his problem. He said, yeah, it might be, but I can fix that. And he gets the handball to Jolly, the old one too. I'll give it to you. You've got to give it back to me, though. And the ruckman gave it back, and Ryan O'Keefe, so very well done.
Got to admire the Swans. They've just been so bold and they've been brave. There's Mark Thompson on screen. But Leo Barry set it up in the first quarter, in this quarter, by taking the opposition on, and that was another example by Ryan O'Keefe. They've been bold, got themselves back into this game.
Not regarded as the most audacious team in the business, the Swans, but that was daring, risk-taking football and getting a result. The difference is just 5 points, and the crowd at Skilled Stadium has had the wind taken out of its collective sails.
Well, 1 goal to 5 in favour of Sydney in this quarter. They've done it from the clearances.
Jolly winning clearly in the ruck. The takeaway not quite consummated.
And their desperation. And a forward line that's moved and mixed around. O'Loughlin's pushed up, and they've had Barlow pushed to half forward. O'Keefe's gone to the goal square. Roberts Thompson's there now.
Now, saved by the bell there. Geelong were on a break, but there's a holding free kick called by Brett Rosebery, who was up in the Geelong forward zone. Swans takes the free, and the Swans have a man loose. It's Moore, and he's got on the overlap Buchanan. who is a left footer, which opens it up a little from there. He might be a chance.
Cats are rattled a bit at the moment. There's two Swans forwards and only one Cat defender. Don't see that very often.
That's a rare sight. One Swan chiding another over his decision, but I think Buchanan committed early to the shot. He dare not look Lachlan's way right now. The margin is 4 points. This is turning into a struggle of epic proportions.
So Milburn at fullback. Cats need to take a big deep breath and just get their composure back. They've been rattled in this quarter. Scarlett in the back pocket. Wasn't a great handball to Hunt. Back to Scarlett. Pressure again from the Swans forwards. Hunt, which way will he go? Threads it to Stokes. Look out!
That is a shocking handball by Hunt.
It wasn't a great tackle. He had him absolutely on toast, Smith, and buried him into the ground. Poor play. Off to Ablett now at half back. Kick towards the wing. Mooney comes to meet it. Swans with the numbers. Craig Bolton does well. Matner chips over the head of Kirk. That was a poor option, or poor execution, I should say. Stokes back to Ablett, and he finds Chapman on centre wing.
Gee, there's some cold Cats out there. None colder than Cam Mooney.
So what's going to happen in this game? It's close to half-time. You wouldn't have imagined at quarter time that Sydney could lead at the long interval. But the way they're playing now, they just might. Here's Rook for the Cats, as everything just seemed to stop for a moment. And Rook tries a bit of daring of his own. Now Steve Johnson, who looked as though he'd win it off his own boot in the first quarter.
Yeah, and a few of the Geelong players showing their disappointment at each other with their poor choices. I don't know if that's a good sign. It is if you're a Sydney fan.
Barlow to Kirk. It's not so good. He was after Matner, but Ablett saw it coming. And now Corey is loose. And down the corridor for him is Milburn. But Corey goes in short to Johnson. Milburn still loose, but he goes for Hawkins, who can have a go from 40.
Beautiful pass by Steve Johnson. It was almost a look-away execution by foot. Now have a look at this here. Just sums it up. Across his body. He kicks that kick so well. And Tom Hawkins has been sensational today.
8 marks, 9 disposals to the big man. And we're talking to his dad at half-time.
The Cats have kicked just 1 for the quarter. They still have just 1 for the quarter. There have only been 2 kicked at that end for the match of the 13 accumulated thus far. So we do certainly have a scoring in a statistical sense.
That's what is ahead of Matner as he prepares to kick. Not a lot of movement, so quarter to play on. And takes Johnson on and does it pretty well. On the non-dominant side, though, kicks it, and well done by Bird. Just got there in time. And not a bad result after all that. I thought they were going to concede another behind, but a boundary throwing 55 metres away from the Geelong goal. Blake works to the front. Well done, Bird. Off to Bevan. Good handball option. Took the longer option. Off to McVeigh, who kicks towards half forward. O'Loughlin at the back. Got Hunt underneath the ball. Wojcinski, though, very quick to get back onto the loose footing. Off to Enright. And he finds Mackie.
And Mackie has a good target out wide. It's Stokes. There's another man loose in Ling on his wrong side, but holding it up nicely for Ablett. Good strong grab in front of Kieran Jack. Too far out to score. Lovely weight on that kick. And Steve Johnson might be just the man from an improbable angle.
The Ablett mark, he protected the front position and the ball so well. He left early, Ablett, and he was then so quick to put it to advantage. Boy, do they need this.
Difficult shot, bends it back. Oh, another poster. There's a lot of woodwork being hit here, and in the end it might be decisive. Cats by a goal.
Kick comes in, and the Swans do it pretty well. Bird at half-back, chips to Bevan. And Bevan now. Been a great comeback in this quarter by Sydney. They were down by 30 points at quarter time. And Matner's got it. Just retaining possession for the moment. To Bevan. Now to Bird. Craig Bolton, look out, good stuff from Scarlett, but the release valve was there through Bevan. His kick is wide, looking for Goods, but they've worked it out of defence, and we'll get a boundary throw in on centre wing.
So about 40 seconds left of the half. An enthralling half of football this has been. Could Sydney find the way home for another goal to square it up?
Just off the ball here, Kieran Jack is under the gun a bit. He's had about 4 cat midfielders go up and give it to him, but he's a tough little man. He won't be worried about that.
McVeigh gets the kick out of the mess, but not a good result. Enright, Ling not 15, all and Goods crashes in. There'll be a throw in. Crowd not happy.
He's an angry man, Adam Goods.
It's good though, wasn't it? When you get a chance to hit your target, that's what you want to do.
It was a chance to pile drive an opponent fairly, and he went for it. Good on him.
Well, he was complaining that he didn't get it free, but I thought he might have got Ling in the back. Stokes, Geelong on the break. Perhaps they could get the late goal. Ablett gets rid of one and just knew the other was there. Clever kick, Stokes for Chapman, and he manages to hang on.
Gee, that's a good mark. He set himself. He was a bit of a sitting duck, had to wait under it.
And the shot will be taken after the bell. How disappointing for the Swans and for Craig Bolton, who got something in there, but not enough.
He'll love this occasion. Paul Chapman. All eyes are on him. The siren's gone. His team's had a lousy second quarter. It's a chance to go in with the spirits up. Boy, did he play a beauty in last year's grand final.
5-5 to 1-5 for the quarter, Sydney's way. They haven't kicked a goal for 17 minutes. And the drought continues. It's half-time at Skilled Stadium. A great half of football it was. Geelong leads Sydney by 7 points.
Well, it was, Tim, and a full credit for Sydney. You knew they'd come back. They did. They did it at the centre bounces. Kirk was really good for them. Little Kieran Jack did his job. Adam Goods was able to get himself back into the play, and Barlow up forward was really lively.
Time for a deep breath. Geelong 7 points to the good of Sydney.
Thanks, Tim. Well, there's no injury, so that is good news from the boundary. You've spoken about the breeze a couple of times. It seems to be picking up and dropping off, picking up and dropping off. During that quarter, it seemed to go more down ground from left to right. Now it seems to be blowing more across ground from right to left. But I went and stood out in the ground, and you can't really feel it out there. So I don't think it's playing too much of a factor just yet. The crowd may play a factor. They are one-eyed. They hate the opponents, they hate the umpires, but they love their Cats. They're not enjoying this scoreline too much at the moment, so you could expect them to lift their game in the second half anyway.
Well, those two men, Hawkins and Mooney, should feature in this third quarter because, in theory, the Cats are going to the scoring end.
Cam Mooney's been fairly quiet. He's only had the 3 disposals in the first half. I'm sure that would have been noted at half-time, and they'll be looking for a lift from that man there.
5-5, Sydney 1-6, Geelong in the second quarter. Margin just 7 after it was 30 at quarter time. So third quarter underway here at Skilled Stadium. Blake wins, beats Jolly. Chance for Corey. Good handball under pressure. Wojcinski took them on and dropped the footy. Free kick, Sydney.
They've won a lot of free kicks at the centre bounces with their ferocity, the Sydney team. It'll come back.
Why is the player with the ball disadvantaged in that situation?
Well, he's won the footy, hasn't he? He's been red-hot tackled. Didn't have much time to get rid of it. He gets penalised. It's a tough call.
He hit a target. Now it comes back. He's got to try and do it again.
So Buchanan now called to play on. Kick inside attacking 50. Moore up high, had to beat a couple. Milburn drags it back under. Contest provided by Moore. Umpire bounce 40 metres from Sydney's goal.
Be within zone, Marty.
Gee, wouldn't it be a good start if the Swans could kick the first goal here, bring it back to just a point. The closest they got in the second quarter was 4. Jolly and Blake engage. Give it to Blake. O'Keefe tackled by Corey.
No fire.
And another bounce.
Cameron Ling and Adam Goods continue their battle in the second half. There they are at the right of your screen. Just 5 disposals for Goods, but he's missed about 3 shots on goal that he could have kicked.
So here we go again. Blake and Jolly wrestling. Third man up. Good. Brilliant tap to McVeigh. Deep in the pocket. Tried to bring it across, sets it up at the back, and Harley too good. Davis tried to push him underneath it, but Tom Harley, the captain, just too good in that situation, and the Cats away.
And the moment passes for the Swans. Rob, was it worth the shot? McVeigh was on his wrong foot, but my word, a goal would have been so uplifting.
Yeah.
Oh, Mooney came at McVeigh with a fearsome shepherd. Corey keeps going and delivers, but the Swans hold up. Buchanan almost handed it off and then thought better of it. This is developing into something pretty special. Barry, Craig Bolton, no, it took forever. He's gone. Was asleep then, Craig Bolton. Ablett's free kick, and Chapman can go back and try to do what he couldn't do after the half-time siren.
Gee, Mooney at McVeigh. I think McVeigh thought it might be best to hit the deck here. And I think for Mooney's sake, I'm glad he did, because the Cats can't afford to have Mooney out for 4 weeks.
The original intent was legitimate, although the arm was just starting to go up as McVeigh went down. Chapman hooks that big time and is lucky to score a behind. It's the Cats by 8 points.
Adam Good's third man up back a minute ago. This was just superb football. Not only did he get up and get his hand to it, he put it down McVeigh's throat. Super play.
Just in two minds, McVeigh there, wasn't he? Trying to...
It was the team play that he executed, and yet the shot of goal, I reckon, just might have been the lifter.
No one on. Bolton back to Bevan. Swans bring it out of defence. Wasn't a great kick off the boot, but it finds its target. No, Mark not paid to Richards. Got Jude Bolton in support. Needs to keep his feet here. Chance for Ablett. They find it together almost at ground level, and a bounce between half forward and wing for Geelong.
Because he's got a strong body, Gary Ablett. He puts the opposition under so much pressure with his physical strength.
Geelong bench. And a bounce. A real arm wrestle here. Jolly, good tap down to Craig Bolton. This time he'll get a possession as he kicks it short in the direction of Barlow. Well done, Mackie. Did it superbly, pushed him off the ball. Prismal, Enright, threads it through the congestion to Kelly, who's got time on centre wing, and had Corey all by himself. Oh, inventive stuff from Steve Johnson, the over-the-head handball. And the kick from Corey just pitched in front of Hawkins. He fights on, taken by Luke Ablett. He's wrapped up, going nowhere, and a bounce 30 metres from Geelong's goal.
Well, we're seeing lots of tricks, but not much scoring at the moment. And have a look at that handball over the top.
Colossal struggle, almost a steal to Steve Johnson. Matner covers it, and I reckon lets them shunt him over the line because it was the safest place to be. But the Cat fans are just starting to feel an edge of consternation. This Sydney team cannot be denied. Jolly, Bolton, Barry, steal almost on. Goods, steal again, Rook, Hawkins, Jolly over him. Got to be careful he doesn't fall in his bag, holding the ball. It's against Hawkins. It goes to Jolly, and again the faithful of Skilled Stadium are not terribly enamoured.
And Lachlan, starved of possessions, gets down on the wing. Scarlett goes with him. This is a terrific contest between the two veterans.
Jolly jogs across the ground, finds Matner. Handball eventually got to Bevan, who was just under the pump. Need to be clean here. Moore is with his hands. Oh, it took a long time. Brilliant smother by Bartel. Oh, and a follow-up tackle is sensational stuff, and lucky not to be rewarded. He's not happy, Jimmy.
That's why the Geelong fans aren't happy, because one went against them a minute ago, and this one doesn't go back their way.
Jolly. Now, what's going to happen here? Off the ball. Umpire McBurney scurrying in has found a free kick against Ling to Goods. So Adam Goods. Oh, gee, it was a poor kick. Should have been a handball. It was only a 10-metre kick in any case to Jude Bolton, and Bolton did well in the end just to force a boundary throw. And the Geelong fans not happy here at Skilled Stadium.
Yeah, and Bartel just gets into Adam Goods there off the ball. That's why the free kick goes to the Brownlow medalist.
Oh, the Brownlow medals were getting in each other's eyes. As Luke Ablett puts Sydney inside their 50. O'Keefe with the field against him. Somehow he beat them. Oh, and I don't know whether that was the play. I think the shot of goal might have been on again. Harley's got it for Geelong. And he goes very wide. Was it deliberate? Good question.
I don't think the umpire would be going to pay it.
It barely went out, and in the end, if it barely goes out.
Sydney bench.
Free kick again, and it's Sydney's way. The numbers are 17-12. You'd think it was 117-12.
Just getting on top of the ruck, Darren Jolly. Getting over the top of Mark Blake.
Move it on. Play on.
Barlow offers. Jolly ignores. He goes the longer ball. O'Keefe never
Free kick.
to get in position, but Moore's been pushed out. 18-12.
That's what the freeze for.
The Richter scale goes up a notch. Jared Moore.
And it is a full house.
No, 15. Play on.
A sellout full house. McVeigh got a high tackle.
Have a look at the crowd.
19-12.
They're going off their head, the Geelong supporters.
Didn't have to. I called no 15.
Well, that was on. Pushed by Enright now. McVeigh,
That's it there.
who eschewed the shot a little while ago on the run from much closer range on his left side. Testing distance now.
Back a metre.
The goal would be well received. He almost did it. There's a Sydney player down.
Yeah, there's a Sydney player down.
Brett Kirk, he's picking himself up. He doesn't stay down unless there are sledgehammers involved. It's Geelong by 7 points.
Absorbing game of football at Skilled Stadium. The Swans throwing everything they've got at the Cats here. Milburn in short of Enright. Called to play on Mackie.
Gee, they just can't get it out of that defensive 50.
Ablett. And he plays it well. Finds West at half back. West to the wing. Rook tries to knock it onto advantage Ling, and Ling does cleverly, getting it back into the path of rookies. Well tackled by Goods, and Adam Goods ties him up, does he? Matner lending a hand, and the umpire calls for it. So well done by the Swans to tie that footy up when it looked as though the Cats were away.
Inside 50 for Geelong. Cameron Mooney hasn't touched a footy for nearly 40 minutes now.
The Cats have become the hunted in this game.
Got the ball. Play
Big
on.
climb.
And maybe, Luke, you give Mooney a run in the ruck just to free him up a little bit, get the blood going. Umpire McBurney seems to be getting every decision at the moment.
And they are tending to go one way. Goods. Sydney unpredictable in the options they choose in these situations. It's called deliberate, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, have a look at the crowd. They are into it.
Look at this guy.
I reckon that hand pass went with the tackle though.
He's saying mongrel. Now, who's he talking to?
Play on.
Selwood now. And he has a good option in Steve Johnson. He's been the danger man all day. Could he pull it off from there?
Well, he can do anything, this fella. We know that. Pretty big bit of goal space there, Tim. That's where you and I started the game down there. And we were putting a few through with Halfcat.
Yes. Well, Halfcat had the better of you. That's not a bad effort by Johnson. But an even better one by Roberts-Thompson in the last line. So it's no score. And the goals have dried up. There hasn't been one in not much under half a quarter of football.
Again, Sydney dominating the clearances from the ruck contest. 8-1 this third quarter.
Kick towards half-back. Chance at ground level. Smith, good handball to McVeigh. Off to Barry. Now Davis. Wide. Luke Ablett with an opportunity. Just backward of the wing. Kicks it long towards half-forward. Milburn leads in the race for the footy, and he combines with Scarlett, who brings it back to the true centre half-back position. Presmell, Corey, and they do it pretty well. Off to Harley. And the mark's taken by Wojcinski in space. That's dangerous. A second bounce. Assessing his options. Driving long. Johnson in a good spot here. He's got it again.
Strong mark, eyes on the ball.
Mark to Steve Johnson.
It's been 30 minutes since Geelong's kicked a goal.
From 45, kicks to a central location. At the back, Hawkins. Well done, Roberts-Thompson. Just got a hand in there. Loose ball now. And the Sydney defence try and tie it up. Spills out to Mooney. He can't control it. Now Roberts-Thompson somehow emerges. Good tackle. Mooney dropped it. He dropped that. And Geelong fans are happy. Cameron Mooney with an opportunity from 30 metres directly in front. Here it is again. Had the opportunity.
Yeah, it's good.
Well tackled.
Good tackle because he came from behind. You'll see Mooney comes from behind, but he rolls to the side so that he doesn't push in the back. grabs around the arms, dispossesses his opponent, wins the free kick.
Just his 4th disposal for the afternoon. Mooney comes in and misses. Margin 8 points.
And the freewheeling cricket scoring invincible Cats have kicked 1 goal in nearly a quarter and a half since the first change.
Well, we spoke about it pre-game, didn't we? The most attacking team up against the lockdown specialist. Took them a while to get it going, Sydney, but they've certainly done it over the last hour of play.
Was that a push? Yes, it was. And all of a sudden there are some kicks going Geelong's way.
Oh, gee, that was close to 52.
It's just unnecessary from Darren Jolly too. He had the height and he had the body position, and it was a pretty soft free kick in the end.
The skipper, Harley, sits it up and hopes for something. He got Richards, who probably should have hung on. Matner, Barry, Moore, the Bird rather. Now Smith, the first gamer. What a baptism. Luke Brennan, the late inclusion for Ty Kennelly. Sydney down on trumps with Hall and Kennelly both missing. Probably the most important players for them at either end of the ground. And to be pushing Geelong as they are in the face of that is a significant achievement. Milburn short circuits them here.
Gee, that's risky.
He hopes for Selwood and he doesn't quite get him. Jolly claim to mark. Bird, well tackled, gone. Good effort by Brent Crismell.
Geelong have been forced wide by Sydney. They've got to try to get the ball back into the corridor. That's where they were so dangerous in that first quarter.
Ablett from centre wing. Going back, Mackie, good mark. Back in the side this afternoon, Andrew Mackie. Good to see him back. Decides to just kick to the goal square. Slightly off the side of the boot, so Smith advantage, but it's through for a behind. So the Cats, gee, they've been inaccurate since quarter time. They've kicked 1 goal 9.
How can it be so hard to kick a goal in perfect conditions? But so good are these teams that that's the nature of it.
It's the harassment of Sydney. They are the best team in the competition at restricting the opposition, taking away their game plan. It took them 30 minutes to get it right, the Swans, but they've got it right.
Geelong's kicking efficiency, Woolsey, sorry about that. The first quarter was 80%. It's now down to 69%. The pressure game of Sydney's got inside their head. They're not using the footy anywhere near what they normally do.
Leo Barry, his audacious run in the second quarter might just have kick-started the Swans.
Disappointing.
Not flavour of the month at the moment.
Well, he clapped, but he ran 80 metres to try and provide that option for Leo Barry, so good support for his teammate.
A goalless quarter. Goods running onto it, has Jude Bolton there, and the Swans are away. 3 of them in a wave, but they don't get a result. Enright in the way, gives to Hunt.
Hunt now, long, in front Steve Johnson. Pressure from Craig Bolton. Loose ball, well done Harley. Clever tap. And Steve Johnson away. He's been outstanding this afternoon. Inside to Chapman, will get the old 1-2. Advantage play. Johnson now. Got time to assess. Kick towards Mooney, and he marks strongly. Just gave Richards a slip. And Mooney's marked on attacking 50. So effective, Steve Johnson, when he has his hand in the football. To watch the clever tap from Harley. And the use by Steve Johnson. So big Cam from outside 50. Let's go. And it won't have the carry. Comfortable mark taken by Jolly.
Disappointing play by Geelong, though. The long kick to the goal square. There's 3 Sydney players to 1 Cat. They're not thinking as well as they should be, this Geelong team.
Jolly from McVeigh with Bartel closing. And the Cats hold it in.
Well, Bartel's been out there for 16 minutes in this third quarter and yet to get a disposal.
32 minutes since the last Geelong goal. In fact, 33 now. There you go.
West rucking against Jolly. Ablett makes things happen. Does here to Selwood. But it's another behind. The Cats by 10 points. Not sure whether the wind will come into play in the last quarter. Certainly there's nothing from the flags to indicate Geelong are kicking with a breeze.
Adam Goods at fullback. And good kick finds McVeigh at half-back. Good run from Brennan. And Enright left his man to get across to prevent Brennan from playing on.
I feel the game's being played on Sydney's terms now. This is what they would want.
Just playing keepings off, Luke, aren't they? What it means is that Geelong, who are the highest disposal team in the game, you can't get disposals if you haven't got control of the ball. So Sydney's happy. This is tempo football, slow down football. Just play keepings off. Don't kick it to a contest unless you have to. And this is great play by Sydney because they're controlling the tempo of the game. Geelong just can't get their hands on the footy.
Kirk, Richards.
Well, Geelong's got a man up in this situation, desperately go one-on-one, and they're not doing that. Now, this is about the 7th mark in a row. Kirk. And a lack of discipline by the Geelong players will be frustrating their coach in the box at the moment.
We've got a wall up across half-forward for the Swans, though. Davis.
The other thing about this, it just gives the Sydney players a bit of a rest. You know, it's not helter-skelter football.
Davis eventually kicks long. Target is Jolly. 3rd man up. Couldn't quite take the mark. At the fall, O'Keefe. Umpire lets it go. It's not coming out. And we'll get a bounce at half-forward for Sydney.
Good discipline, that too. Once they chipped around for a while, nothing on, they then prepared to kick it to a contest. And the big man, Darren Jolly, stood up and gave them that contest.
Geelong had 113 disposals in the first quarter, 89 in the second. They're on 43 at the moment, with not much more than 5 minutes left of this 3rd quarter.
Well, they've been closed down by the specialists.
Well, they get a couple of important ones here. Ablett and Ling. There are just 4 inside the 50. No one in the goal square, and Ling hits the woodwork.
Brett Kirk's got an opportunity to go back to Adam Goods because Goods took off with the footy the other way. He knew that the free kick had been against Sydney, and he let Brett Kirk chase Cameron Ling. Nearly cost them a goal.
Cats 1-11 from quarter time. Oh, Davis. It's a Bronx cheer and a wry grin. Had a bit of time, couldn't quite control it.
I'd get Cam Mooney in the ruck, Luke. Free him up, give him a chance to have a run around.
Jolly. Jack fighting with Ablett. Ablett got it back to Mackie now. Chapman. So the Cats can build again. Kick towards half-forward. Bevan needs some courage. Oh, he was courageous but couldn't quite hold on. Bolton held a long time in the tackle. No free kick. Bartell off to Steve Johnson. Normally uses it very well. Stokes. Woolgee almost had it. Brennan's got it now. And we'll get a bounce 45 metres from the Geelong goal.
This is one of the most extraordinary quarters ever played. Geelong have kicked 5 behind. Sydney have kicked 1. Possibly the 2 best teams in the comp. Neither can kick a goal. Blake the tap. Goods and Ling. Geelong still pressing. Honours shared. Kirk read it well. Gave to Bird. Plays the boundary line. Roberts, Thompson, Kelly and Ablett. No escape for Ablett. Corey. Swans, though, converge. Bird. Well, he got rid of it. He kept it in motion. Sort of interpretation, just and maybe that's the way it is now, but if the ball kept alive, why not let the game go on? Bartell.
Yours!
Johnson the sit. Goods the ball. Kirk. McVeigh. Sydney with the carry. Jolly back to McVeigh. Goes for Davis. Needs clean hands this time. Harley's bearing down. Harley Davis. Mackie to Harley. Swans, though, again with numbers and persistence. Buchanan. Bird again. Swans on the build. This could be dangerous. O'Keefe goes one way. Heads back towards goal. Long ball. Misses the lot. Stays alive. O'Keefe. Wrong-sided. Does brilliantly to Bevan.
What a good kick. O'Keefe on his non-preferred side. Able to set Bevan up.
Well, there's a massive contest on centre wing there with Nick Davis. He's been out of this side because he's chasing and tackling, hasn't been up to scratch. Well, he gave a great second and third effort. As a result, this footy's inside 50, and we've got a shot on goal.
This to break the deadlock. Paul Bevan curls it back, puts it through. The Swans are within 5 points.
What a performance by the Sydney Swans. They trail by just 5 points. Without Barry Hall, Ty Kennelly, a late withdrawal. It's been a fighting effort. Now, a centre square infringement, and this time it'll go Geelong's way. We've seen one apiece in the match. Handball off to Chapman. Long, deep inside, attacking 50. Well done, Bevan. And Fist finds it at ground level, or does he? Well done, Hawkins. Provides a contest. Brennan, aggressive stuff from Stokes. Palmed off.
Gee, you've got to don't argue. Stokes right on the nose. Without Barry Hall playing under Paul Roos's coach, let's have a look at Stokes here. I think it might have been friendly fire. Barry Hall hasn't played in 8 games that Paul Roos has coached. They've won 4 and lost 4 and have averaged 15 goals a game in those 8 that Barry's missed.
Got him in the face there, Sydney.
Free kick. Now we come back to
Slapped him in the face.
Roberts Thompson, I suspect.
And they've got a free kick.
All day.
Well, they're not used to this down here at Skills Stadium. They're used to it all going their way.
2.5 minutes left in the quarter. Cats by 5 points. Bevan at half back.
Frustrated Geelong, haven't they, Luke, with this possession play?
Oh, gee, not a great kick. Matner gets an accommodating bounce, and now they can run the footy. Buchanan, good running from Roberts Thompson out in front of Blake. Towards half forward, going back, Jack, he's got it. He'll turn onto his left foot here from 60, kick it short, Keith marks. Right on the edge of his kicking range. Started the game in great style, Ryan O'Keefe. Kicks towards Goods, couldn't take the mark. Hunt, oh, it wasn't a great handball. Chance for Barlow, Barlow across the face. Oh. Good pressure. The pressure in the Sydney forward 50 has just been fantastic since quarter time.
Yeah, and Woolsey called it. They are frustrated, Geelong. They're used to having everything go their way, especially down here at Skills Stadium. And the Sydney game plan, you have to admire them so much. They stick to it. They tackle and harass. Put Geelong under a lot of pressure.
Cats have got fewer than 100 seconds to avoid their first scoreless quarter since the middle of 2006. They didn't have one last year. They haven't had one this year. They've only kicked 1 goal since quarter time. Not much going right for them. There's a poke in the eye for Matthew Stokes. Kirk putting the head down into it. And he's perhaps lucky not to be penalised. The faces are becoming a little more creased and just a little longer here at Geelong.
It's the third man up by Sydney. We've seen it several times in this quarter. The other thing that Sydney have done, they've had 28 marks in this quarter to Geelong's 15, so almost double. And a lot of that just means that they control the ball.
Luke Ablett climbing in there. Paul Roos would have to be thrilled with this. Breakaway for the Swans late in the term. Matner to Barlow, who has been a secret weapon. Now more from a long way. Poor old kick. Harley has it covered. Scarlett there, his sidekick. Goods got him. Well done by Goods. Great chase. Milburn and Scarlett, but the Cats under unusual pressure. They get rid of it. Chapman, Corey, and there is time for them to do something. Whistle.
Now, free kick off the ball.
Geelong free kick within kicking range. Well, it might have taken something out of the ordinary to provide them with that desperately needed goal. And Jimmy Bartell could be just the man to do it.
Well, that was a long way off the action, wasn't it?
Needless, really, so far away for a defender to commit an infringement. It looks straightforward from there, but that opening is proving very elusive lately. Bartell knows where it is, though, and the Cats get the steadier. On the edge of three-quarter time. They extend their lead to 10 points, and people are breathing easier here at Geelong.
You can still feel the tension in the ground. It's been a frustrating quarter, and I think the Geelong people are thinking, can we get out of jail here? Almost such has been the display put on by Sydney. Joel Corey averages 30 disposals a game so far this season. He's been restricted to only 15 so far. That's the way Sydney play. They strangle the life out of you. They frustrate you. They force you to turn the footy over, and it's worked really well so far. 10-point game.
So just a few seconds left in this third quarter. Blake decisively. Kelly, good tackle coming from Jude Bolton. Ablett somehow extracted the footy.
Free kick,
and he'll take a free kick. 16 seconds on the clock, and Sydney have fought so hard, Rob, they can't afford another Geelong goal here.
No, they just need to get numbers back. And have a look at the Sydney players running downfield. They're always aware of the game situation, so they're pushing their numbers down. There's only 16 seconds to go. Number one priority, deny Geelong a shot at goal in these last few seconds.
Ablett, long and wide. Steve Johnson the target, and why wouldn't he be? Ball to the back. Steve Johnson first to recover. Richards, be careful. A boundary throw in deep in the pocket. With just 3 seconds on the clock, so...
This is where you need a Nick Davis.
Yes. Last opportunity here. Roberts, Thompson and Goods averts the danger. So three-quarter time at Skilled Stadium. 8-13 plays 7-9. The Cats by 10 points.
Been a sensational game of footy. Geelong got out of the blocks in the first quarter, and we thought it was going to be an absolute smashing. And Paul Roos and his boy, they've stuck to what they know best, and that's aggressive, accountable, harassing footy. Geelong have been rattled. Got a great game coming up in the last quarter here.
Just one goal each in that third quarter. What a tight affair it was. The Cats, the champions, lead the Swans by 10 points at the last change. I can tell him you're tipping Sydney in this last quarter. That's the situation.
There's not many I can outrun, but he'd be one.
The Cats by 10 points at the last change after they led by 5 goals at quarter time and looked as though they were going to blitz the Sydney Siders. Now the rotations, Das, and Geelong's midfielders had to work pretty hard. Yeah,
well, you look at Cameron Ling. He's only had 9 minutes on the interchange bench. So has Joel Corey, Gary Ablett and Jimmy Bartell. Brent Prismal's the one who's got a fair bit of petrol left in the tank.
And for Sydney, the load's been shared a bit more.
Yeah, it has. They've got a fair bit of rest into their midfielders. Jared McVeigh's had 22 minutes off the ground. Bolton's been interchanged 4 times for 16 minutes. And Brett Kirk's had a fair bit of time on the bench as well.
Are you with Walsey and going for the Swans?
I think Geelong will get up, but it'll be very close.
Interesting. Goods is starting at centre-half forward for the Sydney team, but it's in the centre at the clearances that Sydney have got themselves back in the game. Since quarter time, 22-8 the clearances in Sydney's favour.
Cats by 10 points. Final quarter underway here at Skilled Stadium. Jolly gets it down. Jack tracks it towards half forward. Well done, Kieran Jack. His handball wasn't great, though. Intended for Goods. Chopped off by Wojcinski, who scrambles a kick wide. Foot race. Chapman and Craig Bolton. And Chapman keeps it in. Assistance from Blake. Ball very close to the line. Jolly needs to make a contest here and does. And Brennan emerges. Kirk back to Brennan. Now to Jack. He sweeps it wide. Craig Bolton kept running. Needs to get boot the ball quickly and does. Enright pushed out by Moore. Hunt backing up. Tracks it to the line. Oh, gee. Poor Eddie Barlow went down pretty heavily there.
And he deserves the free kick. Just unnecessary to push him in the back.
First goal here. Really important in this last quarter.
Called to play on. Good kick. Finds Moore. Kick and a half from goal. Loads up. Deep inside attacking 50 at the back. O'Keefe. Fist from Harley. Decisive. Chance, though, for Kirk. O'Loughlin knocks it towards Kirk. Bartell drags it back under. He gets a push in the back, though. So Bartell in the back pocket with the free kick for Geelong.
Sydney fans in good voice now. They didn't like that one too much. Bartell. McVeigh making the spoil. Jack. Now McVeigh escaping for the Swans and spearing it to Goods. Needed to hang on, but he might be good enough anyway. Will it curl? Not enough.
That's his 4th behind for the game, and I reckon every one of them could almost have been a goal.
He's dangerous though, Luke. He's looking. I'd rather he played forward in this last quarter than in the midfield, because there he'll present more danger to Ling. Ling likes it to be in heavy traffic with lots of bodies around him.
9 points the margin. Enright Oh, what's going to happen here?
Hunt has bowled the Sydney player over. It is a very aggressive shepherd, you would say.
Free kick to Moore.
And the umpire, this will be a goal to Sydney. Hunt just came in 100 mile per hour.
100% sure.
We saw Enright give a free for a push in the back, and now Hunt. And they are losing the plot a little bit, the Cats. Let's have a look at it here.
You see that far? There's a mark. Joshy, don't go over it.
Well, that seemed to be within 5 metres.
It's debatable, that,
I
isn't
reckon
it?
that's very debatable.
So
I think it's a
Moore
bad decision.
from 10 metres pops it through. The Swans to within 3 points.
Sydney. Now, the only thing that could have been wrong with Hunt's tackle were if it was high or in the back, was it?
I don't think so. I think an overreaction by the umpire. Geelong's got the big players in at the centre bounce. There's Bartel, Ablett and Corey.
Mighty thump by Blake, but misplaced to young Nick Smith, whose kick is also perhaps not put to good advantage. And Wachinski breaks away for the Cats. Beautiful delivery to the ever-dangerous Ablett, who sits it up. But Leo Barry's fist met the ball right in the sweet spot. Kirk, fierce pressure now. Geelong applying some of their own. Bartel squeezing it to his mate Ablett. Pulled off and didn't have it, in the opinion of umpire Rosebery.
Well, the umpire's in a perfect position, just 5 metres away, directly in front. I think Ablett was pretty smart. Let's see.
Was he over it, though? Was he?
Kieran Jack very conscious not to push him in the back, and that's hence the rolling motion. But
Had his body over the ball, that would often be adjudged in possession.
Been very good today, Gary Ablett. He's a leading possession winner on the ground with 23. Kieran Jack has been on him all game. Tried really hard, but this man is a superstar.
I love that Kieran Jack, though, Luke. I saw him play in Sydney last week. He kicked a goal, and it was like he'd won Tats Lotto. You just love enthusiasm like that.
He's playing his 7th game, and he's doing the job on people like Daniel Kerr and Gary Ablett. Now, from outside 50. Good distance. Brilliant kick. Answering goal.
Thompson knows that he's been beaten at the clearances in the 2nd and 3rd quarters, so he's put the big guns in. You can see Corey in picture, Gary Ablett and Bartel, the Brownlow medalist. You won't be able to put a better combination of 3 in there under the ruckman.
so Cats out by 9 points. Jolly up against Blake. 50-50. Bartel taps it forward. Smith gains about 5 minutes. A little topo from Goods was effective. But now Ablett. Corey back to Ablett, getting involved. Now Cameron Ling needs a good bounce and gets one. Kick and a half from goal. Kicks towards Hawkins. Great fist from Barry. Mooney knocks it towards the goal square. Matner getting back, gets a good shepherd from Smith, but tracks it through for a rush behind in any case. So the margin out to 10 points.
Gee, a couple of Leo Barry spoils have been great saves for Sydney. Matner with McVeigh calling for it short.
Gary Ablett looking good in this last quarter, Luke. I don't know whether you keep young Jack on him. What are the alternatives?
I reckon you go to Brett Kirk. He's done that for so long for Sydney. The spiritual leader. Give him the job.
McVeigh was told he had to play on. Ablett came at him and forced the kicking error. Rook to take it for Geelong. Between wing and half forward. Mooney leads in short. He goes long. Hawkins is there. Up in front. Finished up with it. Not a clean mark. Just about handed it off to Johnson.
Did he mark it? If he did, he didn't know he'd taken it.
I reckon there were other hands in there.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
Here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah,
you're right.
Matner's hand was the decisive one, in fact, which knocked it back into Hawkins' hands. Here's Ablett again. He could be the match winner. He's got the curl on it. He is a miracle worker.
Kicked the last 2 goals. He's not in at this centre bounce. Have a look at it, the ruck work. And young Jack just gave him too much latitude. Paul Roos has to think about putting someone else on Gary Ablett. The Cats have made a change at the centre bounce. Bartel stays in there with the ruckman. You can see Ablett's dropped out of the centre square. And Ling is in there. And the other one
Chapman,
is
I think.
Chapman.
Bartel wrestles it clear and kicks Geelong back into attack. At the back, Rook in front, Matner, Kieran Jack. Gets a handball out. Oh, bad bounce of Buchanan. Smith wasn't a great handball. He's coughed it up a couple of times, Smith, in this quarter. Chapman kicks it wide. Stokes in space. He's got a loose player in the pocket. Chips it forward. And Steve Johnson's got it. Foot about going.
Just settle down and have a shot. Just settle down and have a shot.
A blistering start to the match. Kicked 3 goals in the opening quarter. The chance to kick his fourth.
Clearances, Chriso, 5-0 in favour of Geelong. They've turned it around.
He kicks his fourth. Cats out by 22.
It's got a new opponent. Paul Bevan has moved on to Ablett, number 42 in picture there, and Paul Roos had to do that.
The danger now is the Swans could be blown off the map in the last quarter. The cream is rising to the top. Or is it? Here's Jolly for the Swans. Here's O'Loughlin. Davis lurking. So's Ablett. Luke Ablett. Ablett with another colour. And he kicks a goal.
Kelly, number 9 there for Geelong, turned it over with a dismal kick.
Play on.
James Kelly.
Wojcinski, and he's got plenty of toe. We know that. We've seen it a couple of times today in blistering fashion. Handball back this time to Ling. He's got time on centre wing to really measure the kick. Well picked up by Mooney on the half volley. Prismal wrapped up immediately. And we get a bounce, the point of the square at right half back for the Swans.
There's Ted Richards on screen before with Cam Mooney. We've been acknowledging that Cam Mooney's had a quiet day, but Ted Richards, full credit to him, he's done a fantastic job.
Jolly pushes Blake out of the way. Blake comes back though to win the contest. Prismal. Oh, he's got it a long time. Eventually it spills out.
And Jolly just copped one in the head there and immediately coming off.
Oh, he's a bit dazed.
Give us through.
So Goods forced to come in and do the ruck work. Did it brilliantly towards Kirk. Ablett, outstanding in this final term. In fact, he's been great all day. 27 disposals for Gary Ablett.
Thanks.
There's Darren Jolly.
Thanks, ball here.
No one going to him at the moment, but hopefully he'll be back for the Swans. So umpire McBurney to restart play.
Goods coming up. Third man up again.
Wins it out to Luke Ablett. Oh, couldn't get past his cousin, Gary. Bevan well wrapped up. Kirk, brilliant tackle on West. Somehow, though, he got it back to Bartell. Sweeping handball. It's brilliant. Into the path of Selwood. Selwood now kicks towards Mooney. Oh, well done, Barry. Getting back, got a hand in there. And a boundary throw in deep in Geelong's pocket.
And inspirational in the last quarter. Leo Barry, member of the Swans leadership coterie. Great player for them back there. Blake brings it down. Swans swarm the ball. Roberts, Thompson, O'Keefe, Barry, Bolton, O'Keefe, Jude Bolton.
Jeez, I've got some numbers there.
I've got none here. That's the problem.
Nothing at the drop. And West backs back, takes the mark.
Sydney's got all its players left of screen. There's no one in their forward line. It's forcing the Cats to go wide.
Harley to Milburn. Cats by 16 points. Prismal from a long way is a good kick. Places it well. Not quite. To Blake.
It's got to be behind the ball.
Ball hit the ground.
If he can't drag it back in, I think it's almost a sympathy because he had a fair piece. But the umpire's in a great,
wasn't he?
The umpire's in a great position here. He didn't. And then it hits the deck, so you've got to play. Can't play that. Now he drags it back in.
And the umpire's too scared to give a free kick against him.
Absolutely.
He had it for a long time in slow motion, Chris O'Goods. Now to Kirk, Jude Bolton, Barry. Here go the Swans again, leaving Leo as the pinball wizard. And away he goes. But again, there's nothing up front. And now he's got it for holding it.
It's always
ball's coming back.
With leaping Leo, he doesn't know where he's going. So how do the opposition know?
Well, let's have a look at this. I reckon he got a handball out the back. He was tackled here and
he did. They're obsessed with holding the ball.
Mackie from 60, thumping kick to the goal square. Mooney at the back couldn't quite take it. Ablett playing for the free kick, not forthcoming. Bolton, they need to knock it through, and Matner does that. Concedes a behind, margin 17 points.
36 players in one half of the ground, as that fantastic shot shows you.
Sydney under siege now. The city ends become the scoring end. All the behinds are being scored up there. Craig Bolton runs
Good
and
kick.
kicks beautifully to O'Keefe. Now, only 2 men forward of him. Their names are Scarlett and O'Loughlin. One-on-one footy. Scarlett making the spoil and winning the ball. Not over yet. Nick Davis gives Bird a chance. Selwood caught high. Free kick to Geelong.
Jeez, he's a gun, Matthew Scarlett, isn't he? He can play on the big tools like Barry Hall if he was playing today, or the athletic types like Michael O'Loughlin. He's so poised, so good in a one-on-one contest.
Selwood finds Prismal.
Starting to play well, Prismal. Didn't get a lot of game time early. They've saved him for this last quarter.
Now Stokes. Short. Low down mark taken by Chapman. Back to Stokes. Towards half forward. In front. Hawkins. Fist just in time from Barry. Geelong fans at least don't like it. Craig Bolton now. Oh, Moore. Got the handball out. Fired it out to Luke Ablett. And he finds Goods, who has to stretch. And takes on Cameron Ling now. Where will he go here? Along the boundary line. Was he held? Play on's the call. Well done, Adam Goods, mate. Something happened there. O'Keefe. Poor kick. Legzinski on the half volley. Moore. Borst comes out. Kelly on top of it, and a bounce at half forward for Sydney.
But a great one-on-one contest watching Cameron Ling there. He's how hard he's working, Cameron Ling, and Adam Goods. Played every minute of this game on each other. Been a fairly even duel.
Gary Ablett staying up at half forward. And he was the one who got Geelong away early in this final quarter with a couple of great goals. Here he goes. He's been held. Umpire didn't call it.
Big lob from Bartel. Cleverly done by Ablett.
How good is he?
Freakish. Mooney wants to get it on quickly. Does. Did it beautifully. Johnson couldn't hang on, but holds it up. There'll be a ball up.
That was unbelievable by Gary Ablett. Just a bit of body work. Have a look at this. A little bit of body work on Bevan. There. Get him off balance. That's all done. Centimetres from the boundary line.
Leaping Leo again, holding them together back there. Matner, Jack, again can't see much to go to. Bolton, tremendous stuff from Sydney. Long ball, Bird. Davis kept his feet. Harley lost his balance. O'Loughlin running for him. McVeigh. Davis still there. Clever Sydney. Good spoil Melbourne. Still the Swans. Moore snaps and kicks the goal. The crowd's gone very quiet. Swans aren't done with.
Last 2 goals though to the Swans. Margin back to 11.
And Ablett back in at the centre bounce.
Roberts Thompson versus West. He wins it. Chucked though by Ablett. Feeds it back. Chapman off a step. A mongrel punt inside attacking 50. Where will it bounce? Leo Barry, little fumble, but shrugs a couple aside and got it to Kirk somehow. Off to Craig Bolton. And a wide kick is effective. Buchanan can run here. Ablett in pursuit. Kick towards half forward. Goods! Oh, just couldn't hold on to it. Chance for Rook. Well wrapped up though. McVeigh. Well, a handball. Wanted to get it to Moore. Didn't get there. Bartel. Very inventive as he kicks it wide to the wing, and he'll find the boundary line. So good outcome that for the Cats.
That was so clever by Bartel. Just knew he couldn't take clean possession, and look at this. Sockers it. Smart player. Hawkins coming off for the Cats. Jolly's coming on.
Jolly and West. Jude Bolton, rattling tackle. Brennan helping it to Craig Bolton. 2 to get past, couldn't do it. Prismal. Brennan over the ball, needs to get it out. Got to be a ball up.
He didn't go to ground with it. He was on his feet and he was tackled.
11 points in it, 9 minutes left. Plenty of time for either side.
Ling's gone down to centre half back to go on to Goods. That releases Rook.
Crowd enormously involved. Both teams deserve a standing ovation at the end of this. Melbourne for Geelong. Fading to the pocket. Oh, cleverly done, Richards. Out-pointed Mooney comprehensively and does well to Ablett. And Jude Bolton It'll be open up front for the Swans. Well taken by Craig Bird in his 5th senior game, as cool as you like. Now Goods has done some very good things, and that's about the right spot for it, and it's well taken by Jared Moore, who's kicked 2 goals in this final term and might be the unlikely hero.
How good has Sydney been? I mean, Barry Hall incident last week, one of the biggest stories that you've seen. Had to deal with that all week, and they've come out and just played so, just amazing, an amazing amount of spirit. This guy's about to kick another goal.
Well, to cut to 5 points. They've looked done with twice today. That's a big miss. Like a golfer, as a gust of wind came up just as he drove, and I reckon he might have been a little unlucky there.
The Geelong runner's been out to Cam Mooney, and you can understand why, because every time it goes near Mooney, there's just not enough contest, and it's just rebounding back Sydney's way.
Hunt finds Harley. Oh, it took a long time, but eventually got her off to Bartel. Short to Kelly, wide Corey. All the big guns getting involved there to Mooney. Great end-to-end stuff that from Geelong. And Cameron Mooney can kick it a long way. There's the lead from Rook. He ignores that.
Well, while he's taking this time, Jolly's been able to get in the goal square for Sydney, and the Cats need to get someone back there who can give a contest.
Well, at the moment, he stands alone as Mooney loads up and kicks across the face.
All clear.
Margin 11 points.
It can be hard to kick goals here. Great to have at least one of the old grounds with its own idiosyncrasies. They've come into play today. Matner to McVeigh. Been steady all day for the Swans. Barry has created the loose man. He has Kirk running in the middle. Needs to be brave. We know he is, but he couldn't possibly mark that. But he does receive from Buchanan. Now Richards and Kirk again. Swans dangerous here. They're running. Buchanan at the 50. Goods is up there. Goods is down there. Will it sit for him? The angle is impossible. He doesn't go for it. O'Loughlin and Moore were both there, but Scarlett was composed. Now Selwood. Geelong are off the hook. Ablett.
He's free on centre wing. Wasn't a great kick. Now Jack here. Keep your feet, son. He doesn't. Chance for Ablett.
He does.
60 from goal. Off to Prismal. This going to almost shut the gate. Prismal across the face. Out on the full.
Does Gary Ablett ever get beaten in a one-on-one contest? I'm trying to remember one today. I don't think he has done today. He just is so strong. Here's another look at it.
That's his 15th contested possession for the game, Luke.
That's
unbelievable.
Matner from fullback. Oh, gee. Straight off. Ablett to Hunt from 50. Nails it.
Jeez, look at the crowd.
Ruse, perhaps, seeing it slip away with that mighty Josh Hunt kick, the pinch kicker. It was a beauty, and the Cats lead by 17 points. Looks like the winning break. Selwood. And this is an impressive break from the middle. Stokes has been paid.
Just wonderful play by Selwood. Composure, realised he had a bit more space, took a bounce, straightened up, and then put the pass into 50. And this young fella here is a gun.
Now, Woolsey is a big phenomenon in football, super coach.
Yes.
Gary Ablett's on 238 points, if that means anything to you. I think he's on track for a world record at the moment.
20 seconds.
Is that right?
This kick would just about put it out of Sydney's reach, and he's done it. The margin out to 23. Third goal to Matthew Stokes. Good contribution on a low-scoring day, and Geelong might yet reach 3 figures. Something they rarely fail to do these days, but they haven't found it easy to achieve that in matches against Sydney.
Had some talk during the week about Matthew Scarlett. Is he potentially heading down the path of being as good as Stephen Silvani?
You've got to consider it, because Stephen Silvani was named fullback of the century, but the thing about Scarlett, he rarely gets goals kicked against him but he is more creative than, say, Steve Silvani was, and continually gets 24 disposals a game.
Kelly off to Selwyn. He lets fly from 55 and misses.
Clearances 12-4 this quarter to the Cats, and that's the big turnaround. And Mark Thompson put his guns in at the centre bounces, and that got them going.
Lovely long kick in from Matner. Craig Bolton into the 50, but attacked by Mackey. Jared Moore waited back. And now the Cats on the counter-attack. Steve Johnson, he was the difference early. 3 first quarter goals. Mooney. Almost impossible, I would think, from out there. The late afternoon breezes starting to swirl around. His kicking for goal this year unreliable. 7-12, the stat from 49. Oh, is there nothing he can't do? Well, I'm not sure that there is. It's another one to the Cats.
He's just a remarkable player.
Listen to that. Crowd are cheering Gary Ablett as he comes from the field. 3rd goal for the quarter.
3 final quarter goals to Gary Ablett. You've got to wonder whether in the history of the propagation of the human race, one genius has ever begotten another, as Gary Ablett Sr. has his son.
Blake down to Kelly again. Gee, they're dominating out of the centre in this final term. Selwood. Now Wojcinski. He's away. Pursued by Goods, but got the kick off. Wasn't a great one. Deep into the pocket. Going back Barry. Turns onto his left side. Meantime, there's a free kick against Mooney, I think. And it'll come back to Richards in the back pocket.
Now, I know, Wolsey, you're so intrigued by the Supercoach points. I've got to update you. Channel 10 rankings. Gary Ablett has now got the official world record up to 251. Gone past Nathan Buckley. So the greatest ranking game ever played.
Smith. 3 bounces. Over the top, McVeigh. Oh, gee. Not great. Not an effective disposal. Lucky not to be penalised. And the Cats tied up between centre and centre-half back.
Well, they're 30 points up, Geelong. They're going to win the game. But I tell you what, Sydney have been gallant. They have been fantastic. They give their supporters value for money week in, week out. They've done it again.
Blake, favoured by the bounce. Taken by Jude Bolton. Slips the handball. Kirk. Awkward looking kick towards full forward at the back. Davis now. What? Free kick, and it'll come Geelong's way, I think, against Davis.
I think Sydney would be happy with Nick Davis's efforts today. We know that they spoke pretty openly about his tackling and his chasing. He's contested really well today. Got himself back in the spot.
Selwood giving to Mackey. Goes into the corridor for Rook. Favoured by the bounce. Richards backing back. Stokes though over the top. And Mooney runs home another. And the Cats are running riot in the last. It's a mighty victory by Geelong. They have been seriously challenged today, admittedly by a team without key players at either end of the ground. But is this the statement that they are just about invincible?
They've got that aura about them, Tim, no doubt about that. It reminds me of Brisbane in their triple premiership years. I think that they are the most unselfish side that I've ever seen play. There was no reason to give that off to Cam Mooney from Stokes, and it's almost as though he knows Cam Mooney's had a quiet day.
Yeah.
I need to give you one, mate. You're that important to our side. They do it regularly, and they are just a brutal side as well. They've got that ability. I think they might go undefeated for the whole year.
36 points. Swans got it to within 3 after Jared Moore kicked the first goal of the quarter at the 2nd minute mark. Blake better as the game has gone on Ablett. This time the handball chopped off. Gee, they're doing well out of the centre. Corey, Ling, Bartel. Kick forward. Mooney again in position. He's had a good final turn. Chips it further afield, looking to give Stokes one back, and Stokes marks it.
Well, you know what was going through Mooney's mind, don't you? The little bloke set me up. I've had a pretty quiet day. He gave me a gift goal. If I can give him one back, I'll do it. And that's a great spirit to have in your team. Geez, been good, Stokes. He's a good mark for a little man.
So Matthew Stokes, and as he kicks, Rob, can you answer, will they go undefeated? Stokes comes in and goes.
They will get beaten at some stage.
Matthew Stokes kicks his fourth, and the margin all of a sudden blows out to 42.
Well, Luke said who's going to beat them. St Kilda will beat them when St Kilda gets their game going. I know you think I'm an idiot, but that's all right.
Glad he said.
You've got to let go of that, Wolsey.
You can, look, I saw Geelong, you mentioned it, Tim, I think they've won 24 of their last 25 now. They'll win this one. The one they got beaten was Port Adelaide down here late last year, and we were here for that game, and that did them good, I thought.
They lost by 5 points, I think. Selwood having a terrific last quarter for the Cats, but he's got a few mates. Bartel, and this man here is the one who really started it all. He created havoc for Sydney. Corey to Mooney.
The ball's come down with such regularity that in the end Mooney had to get a few touches, but I do love the unselfish nature of his play. Ablett in the midfield, Selwood in the midfield, Bartlett and Corey have made the big difference.
They've kicked 8 in the last quarter when it had to be 1. And they've kicked a few behinds as well.
Gee, at one stage, didn't you say they'd kick something like 112?
It was headed in that direction.
Chance now for Johnson. And going nowhere there, so a
He didn't
bounce.
have possession of it. The other guy had hands on it. Thanks, Ted.
In fact, it was big Mooney there, not Steve Johnson. So a bounce on attacking 50 here for the Cats. It's been a wonderful final quarter effort. Jolly,
Still mine.
Stokes, Prismal. Stokes again, feeds it back to Enright, who chips it to the top of the goal square. Craig Bolton should mark and does. And a comfortable mark in the end. Ablett pushed out of the way.
Get out.
And Bolton goes for O'Keefe, who just seemed to lose it and missed it. And Milburn's happy to find the line. O'Keefe, I think understandably asked, was that not deliberate? The umpires have had enough contention for the day. Is there time for one last whoop of triumph for the Cat fans? Bartel to Corey to Johnson, but Adam Goods, as he has done many times today, takes the ball away in spectacular fashion. Mooney giving a terrific chase. Oh, like two giant athletes, they go shoulder to shoulder. Mooney getting the better of it, but Barlow was there to help Goods out. Kick just a bit strong though for Nick Davis. O'Loughlin pushed. Scarlett not happy. Sydney's ball.
First mistake Scarlett's made all year.
What a moment that was. The siren's gone. Time, perhaps, for one last Sydney score, but it's a Geelong victory. A magnificent victory achieved in the face of a genuine challenge. The margin currently standing at 43 points. Michael O'Loughlin held goalless today, in fact scoreless by Matthew Scarlett. Scores are behind after the siren. Geelong's winning margin is 42 points. It is an emphatic and memorable victory.
To fight for that win until the last quarter. How tough was it, particularly in the second and the third term, to stick to your own game against a team that knows how to shut teams down?
Yeah, we definitely knew it was going to be tough. We knew that it was going to be, a very contested game. So that was
you know, kind of our goal for the week to get in and win the contested ball. I don't know how we went in the end, but we won the game, so that's more important, I think. Yeah.
To play out a game like that, especially the last term, I mean, I think it was 8 goals. It's a team that either has a lot of faith in your efforts, your teammates' efforts to play out the game, or in the game plan to win out in the end. Which was it more today?
I think it's both. I mean, we back each other. We have faith in each other's ability, and we just go out and play for each other every week. And you know, it's the way to play footy.
How happy are you with your own game today?
I was just happy to get a kick. So we won the game, and that's the most important thing. So yeah.
You got more than a kick. The crowd, they love you. I mean, how much do you love playing here? They are so one-eyed.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic coming down here. I mean, you've got more than 3/4 of the supporters are yours, and they always cheer loud. And you know, when there's those close games, get us across the line. So yeah, it's always great to play here.
Well done, Gary.
Thank you.
Like the greatest of champions, Gary Ablett rose to the heights in the last quarter when this had to be won. Geelong kicking 8 goals to 3 in the last term.
I did, Tim, and it's worth going through the stats. I don't normally like the detail of this, but have a listen to this. 35 possessions, 17 of them contested, 9 clearances, 3 goals. And in our Channel 10 ranking system, that's 258 points, the world record. He is just something special. As you said, a player like that probably comes along once a lifetime, and it was just a pleasure to watch him today.
Swans are a great foe, and they put up a tremendous fight, but if ever Geelong has shown its quality, today is the day, producing when it really counted for a 42-point win.